Hey, welcome to today's video. I hope you are well. If you are new to the channel and you are new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button. We're going to do the news, what's happened over the last week, and we're going to start right now. So let's get into it. Now, I'm just going to say one thing. I've been away for the last week. Some of the previous videos were pre-recorded and I've got a bit more of a colour on me now, a bit more tan, not the dullish UK weather. And I want to talk firstly about Donald Trump. Dull news first. I knew this was coming. We all knew that eventually Donald Trump, Mr. President, Mr. Business Entrepreneur, now President, would tweet about Bitcoin. Now, it's no secret that he is balls deep in the stock market and he's obviously going to be saying stuff to protect the US dollar. But he's finally tweeted it and he said some unbelievably horrible stuff that has really damaged Bitcoin forever. No. In reality, it's very, very good news. I know I'm talking about this like that's happened like last week, but I just want kind of my thoughts on the map. It's good that he's against it in a way. It's bullish. It goes against the system. It's that decentralization versus centralization. And in reality, he doesn't have a clue, does he? The people that do throw up the argument do make me laugh when you compare the statistics between the US dollar crime and the Bitcoin crime. I know it's chalk and cheese in terms of how much usage, but there's percentages there. There's always going to be an average mean percentage, and you can figure out which one people turn to crime. Let's go to an ATM, let's take a few dollars out, let's buy some drugs. No one knows about it. Let's go to a public ledger and put money into someone who is a known scam artist or a known drug dealer or a known whatever on a wallet, because most exchanges these days are pretty much KYC. You're never going to happen. You've got to be a bit more savvy when it comes to protecting your ass when it comes to cryptocurrencies. So yeah, it makes me laugh. But yeah, that's that. Nothing really else to say. I don't really want to get into politics because I cannot be bothered. Other things to mention as well, John McAfee. We all know he's a bit of a rogue. You know, I don't know what the word is. He's a rogue pioneer of cryptocurrency. There we go. But ultimately, he's kind of like living on an island on a boat somewhere, fearing for his life, I think, at these points. But unbelievably, he's obviously just tweeted the same thing. Please, sir, get a clue. And it's right. He's talking about stuff that doesn't really make sense in terms of what the president's tweet has said. That it's just a simple attack, and ultimately it's a way to get eyeballs to Bitcoin. But obviously, the people who are following Bitcoin, us, me, you, whoever, it's good. It's good that it's been brought attention. So, let's talk about some altcoins. Reason why Ripple adoption gets another boost with Santander Bank launching a new payment corridor. Now, a lot of people say to me, why do you like Ripple? Why do you like XRP as a token, for example? It's for this reason. If you cannot see the value in banking systems using a cryptocurrency, then I don't know why you are trying to make money. XRP, if you buy it at the right times, will make some people a lot of money. It already has. It'll happen again. When it's getting used all around the world for banks to send money, which it will happen, there's been echoes and calls for banks to update their traditional systems. XRP has that solution. They cannot do it in the traditional forms. They've got to use cryptocurrency, and XRP is the one that's pretty much ready to go. If it gets used throughout the world, the price, volume and demand will go through the roof in terms of current value. It will fly. And there's no question about that, where people, normal people of the world who are into the systemized, centralized systems will go to XRP as an investment because they'll know that it's used by the banks. And what do the banks give you? To them, trust. To us, distrust. So it's interesting how people's mindset works. So that's why I'm back in XRP. I don't think it's the best thing since life, but I definitely don't. But I want to make money. I want to make money. Simple as that. And we all should. That's why we're all here. We're trading in financial assets. So put your prejudices aside. The one that's going to be closest to the banks, that's cuddling up to them, spooning them at night, are the ones that are going to get filthy rich. That's just usually how the systems work. Same with the Chinese coins. Look out for the Chinese coins. The ones that will be a very big infrastructure in the future of the Chinese technology world. For example, VeChain is a good example. Why would you be cozying up to them? Because most things that go in China tend to go bang and they go rocket ship. So always have an eye on the future. Always know your fundamentals, and being in bed with the banks, not a bad thing. IMF. Now, these are kind of an interesting kind of body of space. Now, these have already stated that this crypto asset space, this blockchain space, and all these other crappy coins you can get with it, but ultimately the good ones we want to focus on, will more than likely replace cash one day, which we all kind of believe slightly. I don't think it'll fully replace it in my lifetime personally. I think it'll take too long. Historically speaking, it takes a long time if you know about money, but ultimately I think as an alternative, yes, definitely 110%. Cryptocurrency will be used to buy your coffee, to buy your sweets at the shop, to do simple transactions on this device. Maybe not this device, but you know what I mean, like longer term. So that's good that they're getting the back in. They're saying that yes, electronic money, cryptocurrencies will be pegged and will be used more likely in shops and other things. It just makes it more easy and more stable in reality, because if you think what happens when Visa goes down, it's a complete cluster. And it's happened a few times where things have gone down, and even if you're going shopping and you don't have cash with you, sometimes those card machines do not work, and it's like, ugh. Decentralization, cryptocurrency blockchains do not go down unless you're Ethereum and you've bought a lot of crypto kitties, but that was a long time ago. So as time goes on, we know things are going to get better and better, so it's always good. Zugs Bucks, Facebook Libra, freaking sick of it now, don't know about you. Was in Spain last week and went on to BBC World News because I thought I'd better see what's happening in the world. First thing that came on, Libra Congress. Oh my god, I was like, fuck my life. I cannot even get out of the space of crypto whilst on holiday because the news is already showing it. So in reality, what's basically happened here, I'll keep it simple. The Senates and the committees and all this kind of banking reform in places are not happy with Facebook Libra because it's having too much control to Facebook. Whereas Facebook Libra going, no, it's for the unbanked, not for the centralized world of the banked. So it's kind of like a misinterpretation of what cryptocurrency is from the Senate side, essentially, to what Libra are trying to do, which makes sense in a way because it always happens. So they're not happy with it. They think it's all a bit weird. They think it's a bit scammy in a way. But ultimately, Facebook have to kind of abide by these regulations, these little laws that they've got to kind of abide by. And it could be a bit of an interesting debates over the next coming months to see what's going to happen. We need to see what's going to happen with it. We can't just predict what's going to happen. I think Facebook Libra will launch on time. I personally think they won't care. But yeah, it depends on how many penalties. Got to remember, Facebook have already got a big fine to pay very, very soon when it comes to the protection of data and Cambridge Analytica and all that stuff. So they need to be careful what they do with this. They don't want to upset too many people because Facebook is a huge brand. It's a huge company. And yeah, for them to kind of catch up with the rest of the world, such as WeChat and stuff, where they can use different currencies on there to do certain stuff, they need to kind of make this work. And finally, some good news for Bitcoin. Now, we've always been aware of the Chinese bans and all that rubbish, but Chinese courts have upheld legality of Bitcoin ownership protected by property laws in China, which is brilliant. I've already mentioned China before with certain coins where they're based from. And I'm very, very bullish on China with cryptocurrency in reality. I always have been. I have been for a while since I caught my eye on VeChain and how big their partnerships were. And yes, there's always skeptical reasons of there's so much mining percentage in China, but they're not all in one place. But ultimately, China are really starting to back the mask of Bitcoin at the minute, and certainly some cryptocurrencies as well. So that they're announcing it as legal property is kind of like, okay, they are to be a bit more serious players in the game. So always be mindful of what the Chinese are doing, and if they are accumulating Bitcoin, they're not doing it just to kind of hide it away. They're doing it for a reason. They know that there's value in there. And I've already mentioned some of the Chinese companies that I've, Bybit for example is Chinese, that I recommend as a trading platform. Ultimately, VeChain is another long-term hold that I've had for a long time, and I've been accumulating all the way through 2018 and at the start of this year. So long time to go with stuff like that, but implications of Bitcoin here is brilliant for people who own Bitcoin, because everyone used to use China as a footing point. Everyone used to go, oh, China's banned it. What? No, they haven't. But the market would dump because people would panic. But more often than not, it's actually the Chinese that are quite pro-Bitcoin in reality when you look at what they used to do with it and stuff like that. So it's interesting. So there you go. that is today's video. Now, I'm trying to keep these videos a bit more short, a bit more concise, so you can guys stay engaged. But next week I will be doing a new microphone, a new video format with the GoPro, so that'll be much better and much more easier for you guys to look at. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and I'll see you on Monday.